Where's the do-da-do-da?
Fold it again.
Hello. Welcome to this episode of What the Flicks. I'm Susan Ayers.
Patty Smith.
Sean White.
Jorge Sanchez.
Okay, so our movies this week are Inglourious Bastard, Train to Busan, Kiss the Girls, and Jumanji: The Next Level. Okay, so the first one is Patty, Inglourious Basterds.
10 hot! Eyes forward! My name is Lieutenant Aldo Ray. And I need me 8 soldiers. We're gonna be dropped into France dressed as civilians. We're gonna be doing one thing only. Killing Nazis.
Yes, sir!
Members of the National Socialist Party have conquered Europe through murder, torture, intimidation, and terror. And that's exactly what we're gonna do to them. We will be cruel to the German. And through our cruelty, they will know who we are. They will find the evidence of our cruelty in the disemboweled, dismembered, and disfigured bodies of their brothers we leave behind us. And the German will not be able to help themselves from imagining the cruelty their brothers endured at our hands. And our boot heels. And the edge of our knives. And the German will be sickened by us. And the German will talk about us. And the German will fear us. Nazi ain't got no humanity. And they need to be destroyed. Each and every man under my command owes me 100 Nazi scalps. And I want my scalps.
99999.
Sound good?
Yes, sir!
Yeah, Inglourious Basterds was made in 2009. It's a Quentin Tarantino film. It's a story about, it's actually two different stories that kind of blend into one. And the first story is Lieutenant Aldo, played by Brad Pitt, assembles Jewish soldiers to commit violent acts on Nazis, soldiers.
Nazis.
And one of the things they do is they take their scalps. And they're kind of infamous around Nazi soldiers because this is what they do. And they join forces with a Bridget von Hammerstein, played by Diane Kruger, who's an actress who's a secret agent. And they're meeting up because they want to bring down the heads of the Nazi party. Now, their fates converge with Shoshana, who you see at the beginning of the movie, who's trying to escape Christopher Waltz, who plays the best
Bad guy.
bad guy. He's just so good because he's so pleasant, so sweet.
Charisma.
Yeah, he's really charismatic. And you see her at the beginning of the film. She's escaping him as he brutally murders her family. And they all come together to kill all the Nazis they can get their hands on. No, that's it. That's the story.
That's all there is.
Yes, I knew there was. Okay, so the
And
other
then they see
people-
that people.
Yeah. Melanie Laurent plays Shoshana. That's the girl who is hiding in plain sight because she escapes Christopher Waltz and she becomes an owner of a movie theater. Brad
This is
Pitt
Nazi-occupied
Lieutenant Aldo Rene. Christopher Waltz is Hans Landau. Diane Kruger is Bridget von Hammerstein. And as I said, Melanie Laurent is Shoshana. And what's interesting is this movie has 4 different languages, and Christopher Waltz speaks all of them. You know what I mean? And so they have to fake, but they don't, because most of them know German, French, English, and what's the other one? Italian, that's it. So I loved this movie, and Christopher Waltz won the Best Academy Award for Supporting Actor. He won the Cannes Best Actor Award and the SAG-AFTRA Best Supporting Actor.
And Golden Globe, too. He won Golden Globe.
That's it. That's
He
it.
just pretty much swept everything that
Yeah,
year.
that year. Yeah, he did. But he's brilliant in this. And I think it was the first time I really ever saw him acting. And I thought, this guy is so good. because he plays this really charming, easygoing Nazi who really enjoys hunting down Jews. And you see his kind of brutality in a really quiet way. So I got to tell you, it should be on your top 100 movies.
Okay, wow. Well, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
This wasn't my favorite movie of his, but the movie was funny. It was clever, and you're right about the actor. Like, I love him
Which
because
Christopher Waltz?
yeah,
Yeah.
he plays such a good bad guy, and he is charismatic,
He is.
and he's just got that like
Thing.
Hitlerish thing. Not I mean, for this movie, he
Yeah.
had that a very they called Hitler charismatic and thing, so he kind of was that kind of appeal where you
have to
go,
have that
oh,
to
yeah, you
get away
like,
with stuff.
oh,
Right.
and then it's like, excuse me with my nose, everybody, sorry.
The polyps are number five.
Polyps are number 5 on the top. It
Like that serial killer. You gotta have
is
some
not
charisma.
coronavirus.
Right. To get away with stuff, you have to have some charisma. Like, what's
Right.
the serial killer?
Which one? Ted Bundy?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, most serial killers.
Yeah.
There's so many.
So no, I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but I liked it. I mean, it was just for me less than like other Quentin Tarantino movies. Maybe it was the topic. I mean, Brad Pitt's the whole Jewish guy. I mean, the whole Jewish the 8 guys going in. I mean, that was very funny,
Right.
very clever.
They were actually real guys who did that.
Really?
This
Yeah,
is
but
Once
not
Upon a
actors.
Time.
And actually, the name of the movie was actually going to be Once Upon a Time in Nazi Germany.
It was that's in the front of it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
says Once Upon a Time in Nazi Germany. That's what it says.
And I guess he changed it to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Later
that-
on,
at
yeah.
the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
it says that.
Yes,
It-
but the actual name of the movie was going to be Once Upon a Time in Nazi Germany. And you're right, that's what they used it for.
Okay.
There was something else I was going to say. Sorry. Shoot.
Notes.
Brad Pitt.
Oh,
Quentin Tarantino.
Brad Pitt. Yeah, thank you. Okay. I do like the twist. I like the whole movie theater, or not?
Right.
Yeah, movie theater that like everyone converges to. And I like the character, like the bad guy again, saying, he wants to live on Nantucket Island, which is just hilarious because back east we all know Nantucket Island, and yeah, I mean, so it was good, but not my favorite Quentin Tarantino.
What's your favorite
movie.
one?
Of Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah.
Well, I would have to say the one with Travolta, but now that
Pulp Fiction.
yeah, Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
But then now, like Once Upon a Time, I think has
Yeah.
like, bumped that down and brought
Yeah.
just so
Okay.
yeah.
George?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the movie. It's there's a couple of interesting things I noticed in it. That one was his homage to Hollywood,
Yeah.
because he's almost like he really idolizes the whole industry, directing, just the movie industry. And there's a line in the movie where she's one of the characters is they're gonna do a German film, German Night.
Right.
Or Nazi night, I guess they call it that. And she's got the director's name on it, and some German soldier comes up and tells her, "I noticed you put you must really like the director because you put the name of it." And she's like, "No, yeah, of course. We're in France here. We always appreciate the directors." I thought it was Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
I said, even though he's German, yeah, even though he's German. So Tarantino's the directors, of course. We are pretty in France. Maybe he's appreciated in France more than anyone else. So, but he makes an interesting point too.
That's kind of true, actually.
Yeah, and it reminds me of also like Spielberg, where he does a movie and he makes little points. Like there's one scene with Christopher Waltz, where he's in the beginning of the film when he's interrogating this French guy if he's hiding a Nazi family, and he goes into this whole dialogue about how the Jewish people are like rats.
Yeah.
Right.
And he doesn't see it as a bad thing. He sees it as actually as a good thing because it's just how
Cunning.
how cunning rats is in the world that they have to live in. And then he goes into the whole thing that if a squirrel comes in here, would you give it milk or will you shoo it away? And it's like, you probably give it milk. If a rat comes in here, you'll shoo it away. You wouldn't. And the only difference they have is that they're both rodents, and the only difference is that the tails basically they're the same identical thing, really almost. And he goes, but even he makes a point that, but for some reason it makes no sense at all. We don't get it. We don't know why. But you're the grotesque by the rat, but it makes no sense. So
Right.
he actually makes that point as a Nazi, which in a way I would apply to the Jewish way. It makes no sense at all that we are grotesque
Pick
by
these
the
people.
Jewish people. Yeah. So he makes that kind of point too in the movie. So there's a couple interesting things in it. There's a couple of like the sniper soldier in the movie. There's this soldier that he almost doesn't, once he sees himself
Killing.
in the movie form killing people, Jewish people. It seems like he doesn't like it anymore. It's like it's different.
And
He's
I
like,
should
he's
mention
disturbed by it.
yeah, that guy, the guy who
he's
plays
Tom
The
Hanks.
actor,
the,
yeah. I've
is-
seen him
is
in other
a-
stuff. I've seen him.
yeah, you saw him in The Alienist. He's the lead guy in The Alienist.
Oh yes, he's the alien.
His name
yes.
is Daniel Bruhl.
Yes, he's the aliens guy. So
He plays Frederick.
he's also showing that maybe some Nazis might have a conflict with that, and of course the movie is, to me, is obviously the horrific things that happen that I think Jewish people carry that in the genes, kind of like he makes another great point too, that so this movie is it's almost like their anger being released, killing Nazis, and very brutal.
Right.
So to me, it's like if you're a Jewish person and you have you have that history, it almost feels good to do that. It's something they want deep down inside. You want to do that. You want to go and grab a bat, and so it's kind of like a release for Jewish people. This film. The other thing they made an interesting point was that there's a black person in the theater that he runs a film, and then no, there's a scene where they're playing in this bar. They're playing one of those games where somebody has a name
Right.
and you have to guess what it is, and you gave me little clues. Where am I exotic? Am I this? And one of the generals has a King Kong. They put King Kong in it.
Right.
So he goes. So he starts going through the clues, like that game that they have the app, and then he goes, "Am I from the jungle? Yes. Am I in America? Was I taken to America? Yes. Was I in chains? Yes. Was I against my will? Yes." So he goes, "Well, am I a Negro?" So he makes the point that, well, you know what, we're Americans, and in the movies about what the Nazis did to the Jewish people, and he makes the point of, well, you know what, look what happened to the slaves too,
Right.
as we're doing that. So he makes that interesting.
There's a lot of
interesting
connections
point. Yes, it's a
on the
point.
little things they do.
So yeah, but and I love Quentin Tarantino. Well, I like the way he shoots film. I like the way the scenes look. I like the color. Like everything is just. It's big. It's his movies. You have to watch them in the theater.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's yeah. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty interesting. And then Christoph Waltz, wow, he's acting. I mean, he deserved those awards. I mean, even I was like, oh shit, because he's so clever.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, so-
that's the character, right?
The
But the
character, yeah.
character also, what I thought was actually almost sadistic, like when
Yeah,
he
he
did
is.
that early, because it's almost like a cat, like
And a
playing
mouse.
with the mouse. You know what I mean? It's just kind of
That's the
playing
best
with
What is
it.
that?
description.
Like
That's
this-
exactly.
Yeah.
He's very sadistic.
And there's a scene where Michael Fassbender is talking to Mike Myers and going, hey, it's Austin Powers and Magneto having a chat.
Right.
Because they're so big now, they say, it's
Yeah,
Magneto,
right.
it's Austin Powers. Anyways, yeah, so I enjoyed it.
Apparently, you're right. Quentin Tarantino is a big student of film.
Yeah.
He you can see it and all his stuff, right? But they were saying that the hero, Lieutenant Aldo Raines, who's Brad Pitt, they were saying when I was reading, it was pointed out that Tarantino probably wanted us to hear Aldo Ray, which was a star of countless war films and B movies.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he does little stuff like that. He is a really student of
Cinema.
Of cinema. Yeah.
He's got a lot of homages to
Yeah.
different things people say. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other, I thought it was a great scene when Shoshana was getting ready to, I mean, she's kind of a seductress in a red dress, and, she's going to do this big, the finale. And what she does, I love when she puts it's almost like she's putting on her war paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like she's using a feminine
Well,
war
I would
paint
say
to
that's
do
that
what
whole
she
scene
needs
that
to
he
do.
shot. I was gonna say the whole scene that he shot where she's getting ready, she puts on that lipstick and all that, and and it reminded me of Rambo. Because that scene where he's
exactly,
like,
exactly.
"Shah!" And then you see the close ups on the guns and the bullets and everything, and that's her.
That's
version of that, of Rambo.
Yes,
The whole
yes.
scene with
You
it.
know, there's
Yes.
an interesting thing that they say, like, she's taken to this restaurant to talk about if they're going to do her movie, if they're going to do their movie in her theater. And it's really interesting. Somebody brought up, Christopher Waltz says, oh, you must have milk with it. She was brought up on a dairy farm.
well,
The strudel, there's pork. Jewish, in the strudel, there's the pork. And was he testing her to see being Jewish? So you never know if he really knows that's her. Or
yeah,
not.
I almost felt like he knew.
Yeah.
Like, because the way he was playing with her, too, like,
Like he orders
dairy, milk. I
He orders milk
ordered
for her?
milk
Right.
for her.
And he also goes-
that's important
He also
in
goes,
the...
have a cigarette. He's not French, he's German.
Right.
You're going to smoke a German cigarette?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's pretty interesting.
Yes. So, yes, that I wouldn't say I liked the movie.
Really?
No. I thought it was a very good movie.
Yeah.
But the subject matter was not uplifting to me in any way. It was like very everybody
Even the end wasn't uplifting?
besides two characters was really awful. Shoshana wasn't awful, and the
The projectionist?
yes, they weren't awful. Everybody else was totally awful. But it was a very good movie. So
Did you like the ending?
hated it.
You hated the ending?
It was so awful.
Love the ending.
Yeah,
Well, it's a-
yeah.
it's a fantasy, but,
If your idea of revenge is a good ending, then yeah, they got it. People are involved in things that's bigger than them, and I think it's more complicated than that. It was a cauldron of negativity, but okay, that you, like you said, you found an enjoyment in it.
You're like
I
that-
I did
never
not.
found it negative at all.
You're like
I
that
thought
line,
it was
I don't want to eat
justice.
her.
Oh my god!
All right, or have we
Yes,
have we gone through that?
Yeah,
Yes.
we've gone through this one.
Yeah, we've
Well, rate it. What do you think?
Okay, I think an 8.
Yeah, I give it an 8.
Yeah, I give it an 8. No, this Tarantino.
I would probably give it a 9 because I think that it went together. No, but the fact that I didn't like the subject matter.
No, but it's a great film. It's well
It
Yeah.
done.
was a
Yes,
really,
well done.
it,
Tarantino is well
just
done.
just like a lot of it, like Pulp Fiction or any, it comes together well. And you're really right, Patty. It has two separate stories that almost don't connect.
Until it does.
Well, it does,
Yeah.
but almost serendipity.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's like they're really no connection with each other.
No, not at all.
You know, so that's kind of interesting how he does that. And like I said, like he's a real student of film, and you can see it. And
Yeah.
And he always kills everybody.
and
There's no
exactly.
like, oh, the good guy lives, the bad guy
Yeah,
dies.
I don't like Tarantino movies. Not that I don't think they're good,
Right.
but I'm mostly
The subject matter.
horrified. I'm mostly like, you know.
Well,
Well, you're
but,
like
but, but I keep watching.
Yeah.
See, but I keep watching.
That's a good movie.
You know. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Doo-doo boop.
Oh,
Get on it.
we'll be
George.
back.
Okay. Does anybody want to take a break?